Welcome to session 4 of Play into Kindergarten Readiness. I hope you're finding things okay. As I go through, I worry you're going to feel overwhelmed because I'm throwing so much at you all at once. But I'm hoping you're doing them one week at a time, and I'm hoping you're finding little chances in your day to implement just a couple of the things we talk about. Because even just a little bit, like one little thing from each of the areas gives your child that amazing foundation. So reading one story a night, fabulous. Chatting with your children, having one conversation when they ask you that why for the 45,000th time, that you just stop and you answer it the best you can. That you extend their thinking one time in a week where they say something like, well, we've already talked about it. I don't want to go back too far, but that you're just taking these little ideas and you're throwing them into your day. You're singing a song when you're in the car. You're playing with those numbers as you go up the stairs, or just little tiny things like that will make a huge difference. So don't feel overwhelmed. Don't feel like you need to do everything all at once. Just take it, keep up your sleeve so that you can pull it out on a rainy day, or, pull it out down the line, month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now. You can think, this is the perfect time to do that. And you can play with those skills we're learning. So moving forward, today we're going to talk about rhyming and word awareness. We're going to talk about recognizing numbers. Scissor skills is our fine motor skill that we're going to talk about. And the social skill we're going to talk about is how a visit to the library can be great for social skill development. It's actually quite a short video today, so that's good news for you. So rhyming and word awareness. So you have a copy of my Play into Reading Readiness book, likely, and that book talks all about all of these skills in a lot of detail. I'm just going to kind of give you the Cole's Notes versions, a really simple, quick version of that skill. So phonological awareness skills are all skills that involve talking and hearing sounds and making sounds. They're not actually related to letters on a page or anything like that. It's just oral. It's oral language. So today is rhyming. Rhyming, as you know, is like cat rhymes with bat. And why it's important to practice that with our little ones is that it's the first experience they have with how words are related, how the sounds are related, and how they can manipulate those sounds to make new words. And when you're rhyming with your little ones and they make up a rhyme, it doesn't have to be a real word. It doesn't matter at all. It's simply that they're changing the language in an appropriate way so that it follows the same pattern that we're following. So bat, cat, I'm trying to think of a made-up word, which is always hard. Gat. If they said gat, great, that's a rhyme, fabulous. You don't need to say that's not a real word because it doesn't matter. So rhyming, again, through song, sing down by the bay where the watermelons grow. Songs like that practice rhyming. When you're reading books, so many books have rhymes within them. So read a lot. We play sometimes where you put 2 baskets on the ground, and one basket has like a stuffy cow in it. The other basket has a stuffy bear. And then I say a word, how, and my little guy would say, how rhymes with cow, and throw a stone or a button or something into the basket. And then I'd say hare, and he'd say hare rhymes with bear, and throw a stone or something into the other basket. Sometimes we do those structured activities to make sure that he really has the skill, but often it's just done through rhyming and daily life. And a beanbag toss on the stairs is another fun way to practice that. So to put, that's for, sorry, I'm getting confused. That's for something I'm going to talk to later. So the other area, so that's the first phonological awareness skill, is rhyming. The second one is word awareness. So word awareness is knowing where a word starts and where the word ends, where the next word starts. So it seems simple. If I were to say a sentence, the cat ate a banana. The cat ate a banana. 5 words in that sentence. That's word awareness. So playing exactly like that with our little ones. In the course book, I give you lots of fun ways to play that. One of my favorites is we have soft blocks or bean bags or balls of socks, anything like that, that you can say a sentence and have your little one have to go and pick up that number of things and try to hold them, and then they keep holding them and then you say another sentence, and they have to go add three more words to their arms, so that it's the physical motion with each word. And it just comes with experience, because certain words are tricky, like maybe. Depends on how you use it. You could say may and be, and they'd be two words. Or you could say maybe, and it's one word. Everything. Words like that, super tricky, just comes with experience. Again, why that vocabulary is so important. So it just all comes with experience. So start with really simple words for your little ones, and then you can move up to, everything. And everything's actually one word, and just start introducing that. And it does all just come with time. But word awareness is super important, because children need to know, need that skill in order to read, because they need to see how the words are chunked off, and they need to know where one word starts and the other ends. So if they know that in their head, much easier to find it on paper as well. That's it for language, nice and quick. The second thing we're going to talk about is math, which is recognizing numbers. Recognizing numbers is the skill of seeing a 2, saying it's a 2, of seeing a 5, saying it's a 5, seeing the number 10, saying it's a 10, seeing the number 1,642 and saying 1,642. It's a very important skill, because if children have a very strong understanding of numbers, like the number recognition, then they're going to be able to much quicker understand concepts like place value. And really big numbers, they're going to be able to say them easier, because they have a very strong understanding of what shape each number is. They just understand that shape is a 2, that shape is a 7, that shape is an 8. They don't have to think about it. It's just in there. And it makes it easier for them to build and see how they're related. So 18, that's a 1 and an 8. That's actually a 10 and an 8. It's not a 1 and an 8. So they start to understand those concepts much quicker when they have this quick and firm understanding of that's a 2, that's a 7, that's an 8. Recognizing numbers isn't yet actually the one-to-one correspondence, the counting one thing for one number. We're actually going to do that next week, which is the big skill that we're going to work on throughout the course. So this one is just seeing a 2 and saying 2. There are poems that I have linked in the course book to go along with each forming of each letters. When you're teaching your little ones to make the letters and having them actually draw it, it's always easiest for children to do it really, really big. So do it outside in the mud or outside in the snow, and let them do those really big movements. Let them pretend they're the pencil, and they have to walk the line. So they're walking a 1 and they're walking a 2, and they're always facing the same way that a pencil would face. So maybe I'll do a video on that later to show you what I mean, because that's really good for making sure number reversals don't happen and things like that. So think big when you're introducing drawing the actual shapes of the letters with your child. The poems I have in the course book, so they're like around a tree, that's the way you make a 3. Down across, down once more, that's the way you make a 4. So playing into the rhyming again, but it helps get it in there. It also helps them make sure they're forming the numbers in the proper way that numbers are supposed to be formed. So they start with the little line for the 4, then they go across and they do the big line down for the 4. Those are just little skills to work on and to play with this week. Yeah, so we talked about different ways. So walking and finding the numbers, going on a walk through the neighborhood and finding the 2 in the address plate or on a license plate. Also putting numbers on the stairs. My kids love to play games on the stairs. So we'll often put numbers on the stairs and then throw a beanbag and try to hit the number 3 or try to hit the number 7. So they can find, okay, which one am I trying to hit? The number 7, and they're trying to hit it. And as they get more and more familiar with it and the numbers are building, you can make it a bit trickier. And sometimes now we'll put like up to the thousands on the stairs for my little guy to be like, all right, I'm going to hit 1,843. Just getting him familiar with saying really big numbers like that quickly, nice and easy, just total recall. So that's recognizing numbers. Scissor skills. Oh shoot, I meant to bring up a pair of scissors. I meant to do that for the last video as well. Today with fine motor skills, we're going to work on scissor skills. Using scissors with children. Children love using scissors. Preschoolers love it. And it's a really great way to strengthen those hand muscles and to work on the fine motor skills and dexterity too. So when your little one's using scissors, the big thing I always say is thumbs up. So little ones will often start to do these weird things where they're thumbs down or out to the side, or they're trying to chomp at the paper. So just remind them thumbs up, and it makes sure that their arm and their hand gets turned properly. I've also seen it suggested that you put like a file folder or a piece of paper under your little one's arms if they are one of the really wide cutters, just to help hold that in. So you're strengthening. We're not really working on the shoulder muscles and trying to strengthen the shoulder muscles. We're trying to focus on the hands. So keeping that nice and snug in next to their body, and thumbs up will make sure that they're holding the scissors in the proper way, strengthening the muscles we want them to be strengthening as they're using the scissors. Some different ideas for how to get them cutting. We like to use quiet bins in our house a lot. So we'll have a cutting quiet bin with lots of different strips of paper or even feathers or ribbon. Lots of different things, and a pair of scissors, and they can just snip, 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 they call it confetti. They're cutting things up nice and small. When children are learning to use scissors, it's nice to use really thin strips of paper so they can just chop once and cut it right off. And once they've gotten into that rhythm and they understand how to do that quite well, you can start doing having them work more on scissor control. So following a straight line on a piece of paper, or following a zigzag line on a piece of paper, or putting stickers on a piece of paper in like a circle shape and have them cut through the middle of the scissors, or the middle of each sticker. That's a really great visual way to help them stay on a line, is that they're aiming for the middle of each sticker if they're having trouble following lines. Just nice little easy tips for getting your little one using scissors. You can also bring them outside, which we like to do, and little ones can cut leaves or cut the grass. Yeah, just different ways to play with scissors is great for strengthening their little hands. So get the scissors out this week. And finally, told you, nice quick video. Number 4 this week is the social skill is go to the library. So the library offers a great opportunity to practice a lot of different social skills children will need in school. So you can encourage your little one, if they're looking for something specific, they can ask the librarian for help. That's a really big social skill that children need for school. They need to be able to talk to their teachers, ask their teacher for help, and be confident in themselves and comfortable doing that. That comes supernaturally for some children. For my littlest, it doesn't at all. He's super duper duper shy. So the idea of him going up and talking to a librarian, forget about it. Even now, no chance I could get him to do it. But encouraging it and standing beside him and having him listen to me do it, all those skills are really great for encouraging them to know it's okay to talk to adults, even if they don't necessarily know that adult, right? Because they're going to go to school, they won't know their teacher so well at first. So encouraging that conversation with safe adults. Another skill that's practiced in the library is using a quiet voice. Is that we can't use those great big loud voices. We call them the outside voices. We need to try to just, mind you, at my house it's always outside voices even in the house, but there are situations when that's not okay, when they're at school or when they're at the library or when we're in the car. There are times when we need to just tone it down a bit. So using those quiet voices. So the library offers a great chance for them to see that certain situations, expectations are differently. When we're in the library, the expectation is that our voice is quieter because people are working and we don't want to disturb others. A third thing it is great for practicing is often at libraries they'll have children's story time where the children are expected to sit quietly and listen to the teacher or the librarian. So it's a great chance for them to practice the skill that they'll have in the classroom setting where they have to sit crisscross applesauce, listening to the teacher, putting their hand up if they have to say something, all those little things that they learn in kindergarten. Story time at the library is a great time to practice them. So that's all. That's session 4. So this week, try to practice a little bit of rhyming, count your words as you're talking, go on a number walk trying to recognize those numbers, or even have your child try to form them outside. If it's snowy here right now. I don't know what season it is when you're watching this. Outside in the snow or the mud or the sand. forming those numbers. Practice with the scissors. Bring the scissors outside as well. Snip some leaves and maybe visit the library. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.